You are now listening to the Warp World Podcast. Boom shakalaka.
Welcome, everybody, to the Warp World Podcast, your premier gaming podcast, Twitch podcast, Mario Talk podcast, and Friend podcast. I'm host Xwater, joined by Jaku. Jaku, hello. We got no Grand Pooh Bear this week as he is modeling. He's left Twitch. Yeah. He's not streaming anymore. He's becoming a full-time model.
Yeah, who would have thought?
Yeah, he must have been inspired by Navitz, I think.
That's what I'm thinking. He's been talking to Navitz a little too much.
The reception on the Men of Mario calendar was just so good that he had no choice.
I mean, I think he had a choice, but I think, I think he took the opposite of the choice he should have made.
Yeah. Everyone was telling him, Pooh, don't do it. You got such a good thing going. He's like, I got a dream, damn it. I got a dream.
Yeah, modeling doesn't last forever. And so, it's a closing window for many people. And his window of opportunity is definitely closing. And so he's taking it.
We're like a minute into the episode, and you've already said he's almost too ugly to model.
More so the age.
Yeah. No, I'm just playing.
He's a week older than me, so like I have one extra week over him on that window.
Hey, you know what? Not all models have to be ripped. Despite his godlike shoulders, not all models need them.
That's true.
Sometimes that's true. Man, actually, so I was talking about this with Selena, Steve's girlfriend, the other day. Imagine how weird it feels if you're in Hollywood and you're just walking around looking for castings, and there's a poster and it's wanted fat ugly dork for role, and being the group of people who walk into that office knowing you basically by auditioning for that role you're just insulting yourself, and then if you don't get it you're not even good enough at being a fat ugly dork.
Well, if you don't get it, at least you could potentially be like, oh, I guess I'm not fat or ugly enough.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah. But you gotta have some thick skin to be working those kinds of roles,
Oh my God. Was that a pun?
Oh man, it wasn't on purpose. Dude, that's not the first time today I've made a pun on accident.
That was good. Yeah, I think when it comes to roles like that though, these people have already put their headshots in and stuff, and they're contacted for hey, you're gonna play just this person. You just got this character.
That's true. There's probably a lot of casting agency stuff.
Yeah, I think they're a little bit more. I wouldn't say I'm trying to think of the word. They're a little nicer than just putting up a
flyer that's wanted
flyer.
Fucking weirdos.
Yeah, I mean, in some cases they might be wanted weirdos, but yeah, it's it needs all the people though, and that's the thing. That's what makes Hollywood work is all shapes and sizes.
Yeah, the one thing that they all need is confidence, which is funny enough. It's it doesn't matter how you look, how you sound, how old you are, how young you are. You just need confidence, because as long as you're not ashamed of any of it, then, you just got to rock your role. You got to rock whatever role you have. I was thinking about, there's one actor, I can't for the life of me remember their name, but they are in a couple episodes of The Office, and they're in a couple episodes of Better Call Saul. And it's this kind of, I think about average height, maybe a little bit shorter than average height, kind of stocky, bald, white guy who is just typecasted into really boring coworker who talks your ear off about the dumbest shit. I like Trident gum. What kind of gum do you like? Juicy Fruit's too sweet for me. I can't, that kind of role. And the guy rocks it. He's one of my favorite characters every time, because in real life, you probably wouldn't want to hang out with the dude, but he just rocks it so well.
Yeah. Hopefully that's not his real life persona, and it is a casting thing. It's the role he's really good at, but hopefully he's not going home and everyone's don't talk to me, man. I don't care about the gum like that.
Yeah. He's been in enough big time shows. I'm sure he's got something going on at this point.
Yeah. It's interesting when you talk about people in shows like that, they're a lot of them don't make a whole lot. even with that sort of stuff. But sometimes, like it's crazy. You think you see these people in movies and shows and that they're all millionaires, but like a lot of them are just, it's a normal job, it's normal pay for them for the most part.
Very true. Yeah, like your non-superstars are essentially like your non. I feel like I fall into that category as a Twitch streamer where like I'm not a superstar, but I get by. I get by. Yeah.
You can still make a living off of it, but yeah, you're not rolling.
Yeah, I'm not flexing. I'm not like rolling up in a Lambo. I'm not like buying new houses and boats left and right. But people think Twitch streamer and they think disrespect ninja and this big balling lifestyle. At least people who aren't as familiar with the industry. Yeah,
absolutely.
Yeah, so that's a good point.
Yeah. So, but you never know. Some of these people have been in the business for so long that they're going to be making a decent amount even with their 20 minutes of showing up. And that's the other thing to think about is like these small roles. They might only have 1 or 2 a month, but that might be enough for them to sustain their lifestyle.
That's true. Yeah.
So it's all different. You never know what's on the other side of that stuff.
It was interesting getting to like when we did the stuff for Project Adventure, the Screamies project, getting to kind of see inside the lens of an actor. Cause like I felt like there was so much happening that you just couldn't help with. Like I was sitting there and they're like, all right, so sit around here until we're ready for you. We're going to go set up the lighting, set up this, like all the steps of the filming. And then I'm like, okay, you guys need any help? I can carry some stuff. They're like, no, just sit down. Don't worry. It's good.
You're the talent. Yeah,
exactly. And I was like, I mean, I'm bored in here. Let's go. Like, let me come outside and help you guys.
I didn't really think about it. But we were actors in that.
Yeah.
But we had some actual people that had like been doing acting.
Yeah, we had like actual like Screen Actors Guild actors in there.
Do you think they like? How do you think they felt about us being in those scenes and like just being like,
You know what? I think person to person, it varied. I think. I don't want to name any names.
Yeah, don't
dig myself in a hole or anything. But I definitely think some people were very like understanding of the fact that like for me in particular, like the reason they wanted. Like they reached out to me was because they needed someone with like experience on Twitch who they also thought could like do some acting and stuff. And they're like, oh, that's Mickey for sure. Like let's reach out to him. So while maybe I didn't have the acting part down pat, when like I was also kind of half consulting on like, all right, so what would a streamer say in this part? I'm like, well, if it was me, like if I was doing a broadcast right now, I'd be like, yo, chat, one's in the chat if you think Reese's Pieces are fucking dope or something like that.
Right.
Yeah.
I didn't really think about it because like it felt fine overall.
Yeah.
Like, everyone had a good time, I think.
No one felt like particularly annoyed or hostile or weird or anything.
Yeah.
But like, I definitely feel like there's a little bit of like, this guy doesn't know how to act scared for the fucking life of him. Like we were doing a third take because this guy can't like accurately rumble the car keys in his hand and struggle to turn it on, like, but in a way where like we're not actually turning it on and they're adding the noise in post. So I'm sitting there like pretending to turn it on, but there's no noises. So you're just sitting there like, shit, this is a lot harder to do when you're all just playing a big game of make believe.
Yeah. Real quick, shout outs to Leah R, who just edited their pledge from $5 to $15.
Oh, baby. Heck yeah.
Thank you.
Welcome to the mega fan tier.
Yeah. Patreon.warp.world for all you non-Patreons. Tonight is the ending poll for the for month 2 of Crowd Control game, by the way.
Oh, what's in the lead right now? I got to go take a look.
It's literally tied right now for Super Mario World 2 and something else. I forgot.
And
Kirby's not far behind.
Kirby.
So Leah could be the deciding vote right now. Unless they voted for Sonic, which no one has done.
Oh, dude, I'm seeing a 3-way tie.
Is it 3-way now?
Yeah.
Oh boy.
Oh wow, that's spicy. Well, we still got a couple more days at the very least, so
no, it ends today.
Is it today? Well, I thought it was the last day of the month.
It ends. No, it's the last recording of the podcast, so we can announce it on the podcast.
Right. At the end of the podcast, we announce it. Shit. So if you haven't, okay, so if you're on the Patreon, you haven't voted yet, go to patreon.warp.world and vote with your real votes on a game. Otherwise, we got to like roll a D3 about this, or I guess a D4 with a reroll option.
I don't know. Yeah, so we got so the 5 games on the poll in no particular order other than the way they're listed. Sonic 3, Super Mario World 2, Yoshi's Island, Kirby, doesn't say which one, but it's the NES one.
Yeah.
Tetris and Contra, which is also the NES one.
Yes.
The last 3 games are all on the NES. So Contra, Tetris, and Super Mario World 2 are all tied with 27%.
That's bonkers.
There's 44 minutes left to this poll.
I'm
so
shocked that we've done my boy Sonic this dirty with 0 votes. I
don't know how Contra has, like, I love Contra, but how is that not? How does
I didn't
Sonic
expect Contra to have as many votes as anything else. Kirby, I'm a little shocked to see 18% on as well.
Literally, if one person votes for Kirby, it's a 4-way tie.
Wow. It's like, don't vote for Kirby. Do not vote Kirby.
Yeah. So if any of you guys out there want to vote, it's the what is it?
Patreon.warp.world.
Yeah.
And then you just scroll down a little bit in there if you are already subscribed. If you're not subscribed, then you know what to do.
Yeah. Additionally, I do want to say we are only $125 away from reaching our first goal on the Patreon, which is to create a Warp World blog that will be posted 2 blog posts a month minimum. It could be more, but it will definitely be 2 at least, where you can hear insights from all of us on the Warp World team, from Grand Pooh Bear all the way to D to the 4th.
Yeah. I'm excited to write a couple things for it. I got a couple ideas cooking up. It's like some streamer stuff, some fitness stuff, some kind of like just personal stuff-ish too. Some video game stuff. I want to talk video game opinions. I want to like talk about why Skyward Sword isn't as bad as people think it is. Like, I want to write a bunch of stuff.
The only reason Skyward Sword is bad is because of all the prompts.
Yeah, the pacing's a little rough, and motion controls could have been a little better. Other than that, like, it's a great game.
Yeah. But yeah, so thank you to all the current Patreons and all the future Patreons. You guys are the best.
The MBPs, most ballinest players.
Yeah. So yeah, the Screamings was fun. It was great working with actors, but yeah, it was kind of crazy, I guess, to just be like, and like, I don't know about you, but like when I did my stuff, like there was no like, it's like, Jaku, you're gonna be here and you just do this. I'm like, okay, and I did.
Yeah.
So they knew. I guess they just knew that we could at least perform enough for the role.
Because technically we perform when we stream, right? So like we have an idea of like, you know, and obviously we already know the people we're working with, so there's a level of comfort there already. Yeah. And for you, it was as simple as a drive across town. For me, I had to like come up and stay for 5 days, and yeah.
You had a bit more of a commute than I.
Yeah. But it was fun. It was actually a really like good time. Like there were some really hot streams out of the back of that studio. Like I had a good time back there.
Yeah, it was good. You know what else is good?
Ooh, can I hijack your transition and let you know?
Yeah.
What else is good is your boy won the dog percent race.
Oh yeah, that's true.
I didn't write it in the news because I was gonna bring it up in our banter little part. But
perfect.
But I'm thrilled. I'm really excited.
Yeah, I can't believe the recording worked.
Shut your fucking butt. He didn't suspect a thing. Oh my god. No, it was such a good race, dude. The production value from Crow's End was on point. For those who listened to the episode 2 episodes ago, we had Point Crow on. He's hosted a Legend of Zelda dog percent race where the goal is to feed 4 fruits or meats to 16 separate dogs in Hyrule. Each one of these dogs give you a treasure or lead you to a treasure buried underground when you finish feeding them. So the goal is to do this as fast as possible, following the route that Point Crow had like laid out for each racer. Everybody had to follow the same route for like even playing field kind of thing. Because it was designed for Breath of the Wild speedrun amateurs, not like if you had run the game before, you weren't allowed to participate. So before I left, or before the race, I was able to push my time down to 1 hour, 59 minutes, and 46 seconds, which was like a decent chunk better than anyone else's PB as far as I knew. And then we moved forward and did the race, and I ended with exactly like 2 hours on the dot, just flat.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
That's so cool.
It went like, there was so many good splits. There was one part where I just like miffed a particular trick. You know, the bullet time bounce where you shield flip onto a dude and then it just sends you zooming as fast as like you could ever imagine. Yeah. I miffed that trick like 4 times in a row. And I lost like 3 minutes on that split. And I still managed to like bring it back to like 14 seconds within PB. And I was like, yes, because the next guy was like 3 minutes behind me. I almost didn't get away with it. Yeah.
That was close. I mean, they don't call you Quick Mick for nothing.
No, it's a reputation I've earned through my quickness and my Mickness.
Yeah. No, that's so the next runner was 3 minutes after you, basically?
Yeah. It was acceptably Adam was the next runner, and then Silver Dr. Mario, and then What If Julia got 4th, and we all like had like a little post-game interview together. But it was a really awesome event. I loved it. It was like kind of like inspiring. Like I want to do a cool event after that, you know?
Yeah. No, I remember seeing Twitter when you won, and it was awesome. I was super excited to see that you had won. Obviously, because team member and all that.
Of
course.
Like
the fact that it went like 2 hours even is awesome. And
it was such a good like perfect finish.
Yeah, and I think an event like that is really fun because it brings out a lot of people that like speedrunning's cool and like it's fun, but like sometimes it's a little too competitive for people, which is interesting because it's not that competitive. But having a silly category like this, it like there are no losers because you get to pet the dog.
Exactly. And the perspective, like a lot of the people, like not only had they not run Breath of the Wild, but they just hadn't run anything before, like a lot of the racers. So seeing them, like I was lurking and like hanging out with a bunch of them as they practiced and getting to like know them and see them approach speedrunning. Like it was just so fun watching. There was one streamer in particular, What If Julia, she was having a really like awesome time with it, getting super hyper focused, and the whole time like she's doing it, she's like missing things in chat and going like, guys, I'm so sorry, I'm just so hyper focused right now, I can't, because usually she's like hyper focused and like really good at keeping up with chat, like she's a very community centric broadcaster and all that stuff. So being in a speed run where like sometimes the game just demands your absolute focus was like a new experience, and seeing her like get super excited about that was just so wild. Like watching someone who's never speedrun before was like super cool.
Yeah, no, you can get really excited about that sort of stuff, and like you don't realize like how much you're going to like enjoy it until you start doing it.
Yeah.
Because to a lot of people, they see speedrunning and they're like, I will never have that skill to do something like that.
Yeah, because you see like clips of SM64 like world record strats and you're like, this is too hard for me, like I can never do that. But there's the barrier to entry of speedrunning is non-existent. You can speedrun whatever you want, you can do it as fast or slow as you want, you can take a break in the middle of your run if you want. Who gives a fuck? Like you don't have to put it on speedrun.com.
Yeah, you get to go at your own pace until you want to compete on the board.
Exactly.
And until then it's fine. And even then you can be like, you know what, I'm gonna submit this 18-hour run of Super Mario Brothers 1. I'm in completely last place, but you know what? I'm on the board.
Yeah.
If you really wanted to.
If you really wanted to, you could. Yeah.
Yeah. It's really cool. It's and so I think more events like this need to kind of come to light. And like if you're doing them, I think that's a perfect opportunity for not only you to grow, but for you to use your reach to get to members of the community that are usually like, I don't know if I can. You can. You just have to do.
Exactly. Yeah. It's just so cool. I love it too because like it's an event with everyone in the event was basically a stranger to me, and like I just get to make so many friends. So cool.
Yeah, absolutely. I think that's one of the big things about Twitch and events like this. You make friends. You don't make enemies doing stuff like this.
Yeah, speedrunning absolutely is like it's a sport where you're not Like you're competing against yourself, and there's never any like, yo, that guy beat my PB. Fuck that guy. Fuck that guy, dude.
So speaking of speedrunning, did you know that GDQ is here at PAX East?
GDQ's at PAX?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Doing what?
I don't know. No. Literally, I'm like, so I'm on Twitter and I'm like, all right, who am I gonna know here? And like, TGH, he's here. Sky Bills is here. Author Blues also here. Darkman, they're all here. You know?
Wow.
You know what though? None of those four are actually here for PAX GDQ.
So okay.
But others, there's a mini GDQ going on during the event. There was some high glider being played. They're doing something really cool right now where they have these little demo stations set up for any of the attendees to go and practice, and it's running through Super Nintendo Classic challenge runs.
Yeah.
It's got like some Super Metroid in there, some F-Zero. I mean, can't think of the other games, but it's got like a few games here, and they're letting people play and practice and then go up on stage and run it.
Whoa, that's super cool.
Yeah.
That's super cool. Wow.
It's really neat, and it's really like laid back, and they're just testing the waters on it. It's like a new event type thing. So yeah, very, very fun stuff.
Dang. I had no idea GDQ was at all involved. That's awesome. That's a really cool idea. I've heard the Animal Crossing Nintendo area at PAX is wild.
Yeah, it's, oh man. They have, like, you remember we saw the Link's Awakening stuff at E3?
Yeah.
It's like that, but even bigger in a way, and like
yeah,
more,
dude. It feels like, because I saw a picture and it reminded me of like what they did with building a fake Pokemon gym at E3, but like better.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. The lines are insane. I'm gonna try to get in as media tomorrow.
Yeah.
But it's similar to E3 where it's like appointment only and they book up fast. So we'll see. I got a lot of things I'm doing though, so I don't really like, I don't know. I go to these events and I have things I need to do with meetings and stuff. And I guess that's my focus. Other people's focus, I want to see everything and go to these cool booths and stand in line for them. I hate that. So like,
yeah,
I try to avoid
it's
lines.
like 5 years ago, maybe I would have been a line guy, but fuck that. Fuck the lines, dude.
Yeah, I can't, I don't know. Nothing is that enjoyable for me to have to wait a few hours in that line,
right?
So,
like
for a game I'm gonna play in a few weeks,
especially like don't get me wrong, Animal Crossing's a cool game, but I know how Animal Crossing plays. I don't need to play a demo of the new Animal Crossing to get excited for, like, you know, it's fucking Animal Crossing. Like, oh look, I fished just like I fished in every other game, you know?
Yeah.
But I guess in the same vein, like when we were like trying to get our hands on Mario Maker too early, someone who's like from the outside could look in on that and be like, "It's you jump on turtles, asshole!" Like
that's true. That's true. And here, so this is kind of funny. My first E3 was there was Final Fantasy 11 there, and well, let's go with second E3. My second E3 was Final Fantasy 11, had some stuff there, and Animal Crossing on the DS was being shown off. Because the first E3 I went to, the DS was just first shown off, which was cool, and like that's waiting in line worthy to play it months before it comes out. But they had Animal Crossing on the DS, and they had you play with Charles Martinet, who was in New York, so it was like Wi-Fi enabled. Very fun stuff.
Yeah, very cool.
But now I'm at PAX East, and they have Animal Crossing, and they actually have a Final Fantasy 11 spot.
Huh.
And I'm like, didn't I do this already? Like almost 20 years ago?
That's wild.
What the heck? What's going on? Like, so it's like, things are just repeating themselves. It's kind of ridiculous.
Yeah. Yeah. That's really funny.
Yeah. But one big thing about PAX right now is there's a bunch of Twitch employees here, but there's no Twitch booth. But there is a Mixer booth.
Oh, there's a Mixer booth.
Yeah, and they got things for their Mixer partners. But one thing that they don't have, affiliates.
Ooh, okay, all right. I see you. I see you.
Yeah, you see where I'm going with
I
this.
thought you were going to throw a curveball on me and move on.
Oh,
Yeah.
I know. Yeah, I know. I saw that highlight. But no. So yeah, but affiliates on Twitch, they just got some new stuff.
Yeah.
Bit emotes.
Bit emotes, which have been around for a while on partnered streamers channels. And man, honestly, it's like, it's whatever, you know, they're fine. They're cool. They're fine. It's like, for any badges above, for the 1K and above bit badges, affiliates can now add emotes linked to that badge tier. And if you have that badge tier or lower in the thing, you get all those emotes and lower. So if you have the like 5K badge, you get the 1 and 5K emote, et cetera, et cetera. And like, while it's neat, it's like another one of those things where it's like, was this really necessary to me?
Yeah. I mean, I think it's, like, it's not something I'm going out of my way to do. I can see the reason Twitch would do it. They're like, we want more people to use bits. And so
exactly.
Let's incentivize them. Streamers can be like, hey, you know, if you cheer 5,000 bits, you not only give me $5, you get a new emote. So like, it gives them a reason to push.
It gives them, you got more, more rewards. Cause like people love getting rewards for their support. And it's like providing those rewards is also a cool thing to be able to do. So I like from that perspective, I do agree. It makes sense for Twitch to roll it out in this way, but I don't think they've done a good enough job, to be honest.
I don't think it's clear enough, and I think
nobody knows about them.
Enough.
They don't like show up in like when you click on the emotes in a stream, you see like all the emotes with a little locked symbol, and it's like you got to subscribe to use these. Literally, nobody knows about bit emotes. People in my chat are like, someone asked me one day, they're like, what are your bit emotes? And I'm like, oh, they're, you know, this. And they're like, how do I take a look at them? And I'm like, I don't know. I don't think you can. And I don't think there's anything that tells you when you unlock them. And so like I made a panel that shows them off, but at the same time, it's like, how's anyone supposed to know about this?
No one reads panels.
Yeah, exactly.
So there's a new feature that Twitch has actually just rolled out as of about 2 hours ago.
The hype train badge thing?
No, that's something else.
Okay, then we got 3 new features.
But why don't you talk about hype train badge?
Yeah, I don't fully understand it because I give 0 shits about hype train. I don't like it. I think it's like an unnecessary thing. But it appears that if you cheer in someone's channel or gift subs, or if you quote unquote keep the hype train going, I don't know what that means. But if you do that, then you get this little train icon badge that you can flex. Yeah, and so that's cool, I guess.
Yeah, badges, you know, more stuff's neat. The hype train, they have 3 levels on the hype train, I believe. And like if you get like 5 or 10 subs, it starts the hype train, and then there's a little countdown, and it needs to hit the next goal of subs or bits. And so that's how you keep it going, is you're one of the users that keeps it going. So it's neat, but you know, the thing I don't like about it, I guess, the thing that I think you're probably feeling the same way, is it's not something that you as the streamer set up and configure. It's like a Twitch feature. And so like it's a platform specific thing, and you might be able to disable it. I don't know. But it's like, it's not yours. You didn't customize it to do that. They did. Like everything else on your stream is personalized how you want it to be. And hype trains are like, it's a one size fits all sort of thing in their mind. Yeah. And I think that's the thing. I think if they had an API, like an endpoint like they do with subscriptions and stuff, to let you know, like in the back end, like, hey, hype train could be active right now. Like this would be a good time because of this. And then you get to trigger things based off of that. I think that'd be the better way to go. But they're slowly pushing away Streamlabs, Stream Elements sort of stuff. Yeah,
that's definitely true. They are trying to push back on those guys for sure. I mean, Bits was the first big push against like donations, right? And gift subbing has pushed that further, and you know, a lot more of the monetization is actually on the platform now instead of outside of it, which is what Twitch wants, right? The thing that I really just don't like about it is I feel like it puts this pressure on. Like, I'll be the first one to say it. Like, yeah, I fucking love getting subs and bits and donos. Like, who doesn't love getting paid, right? Like, it's awesome. It makes my day. It's great. But I'd never want to be like sitting there like, oh, the clock's ticking. Give me a sub or that clock's gonna run out and the hype train's done. Like, it just feels so forced and kind of icky. And so I didn't like adopt it for that. Like, I turned it off for that for that reason.
Yeah, and that's fair.
Yeah. So anyway, what's the feature?
feature?
Yeah, what's the other new feature?
So this is currently in alpha, and from my sources, about 5% of partners were asked to be in it. And I got to tell you, I'm pretty sure they literally just randomly picked 5% because I'm in that alpha. And there's no good reason for me to be in this alpha. It's badge flare for your tier 2 and tier 3 subs.
Oh yeah, you've told me about this off podcast.
Yeah, and so it's currently live. As far as I know, it's live on my channel, twitch.tv/Jaku. So if you go tier 2 in my channel, maybe we can see it. I don't know. But like it's gonna be active for 4 weeks. So that means I need to stream, which is gonna be really hard because I have Tokyo next week, and then I have San Francisco later on. So like I might have like a 1.5 week window where I can stream.
I'll go buy a red wig. I'll take it for you, Chief.
Oh, perfect. There we go. But yeah, like, so it's gonna be interesting to see. Like, is a badge flare enough of an additional perk for people to want to spend twice, almost, or up to 5 times as much on a sub?
Yeah,
like,
it's a good point because like the tier 2 and 3 perks really aren't anything.
And I'm sorry, but like the tier 3 to 2 is just like the value is not there at all.
No,
like,
there's
a
point
it's for the
like,
streamer.
Yeah, it's purely about just showing the support. Like the reward factor isn't really there.
Yeah,
I think the badge flare is a good like first step, to be honest.
I think so. I think like, but I think this should have been done 2 years ago when like this all first came out.
Yeah, badge flare should have came with it for sure.
Yeah, like I think this is the problem is like we have been saying this stuff for years. Like, tier 2 and tier 3 needs a little bit more perks on the Twitch side and not required by the streamer, because that's what their vision was. Like, oh, the streamer will take care of the perks, but there's nothing good to like do additionally for those tiers.
It's hard. It's like that's a lot of pressure to put on a streamer for that perk, because like providing perks for your subs outside of your streams like is if it's going to be like sub games, that's going to be something that's really hard to make time for if you have a busy schedule. Like a good chunk of partnered broadcasters, juggle streaming with a full-time job. Like, between that and trying to maintain a healthy, like, outside of your computer life, like, I'm sorry, there probably just isn't enough time in the day to like, have like often scheduled stream reward days kind of thing.
Yeah.
But that, like, that I guess that responsibility is on the streamer.
It is, but like similar to how like I said, the hype train's kind of like it's generic and whatnot for Twitch, like for the streamers that want customization. I think like that's the problem is they're focusing on this. Chat should be yours. Everything on chat and everything you see on the stream, that's the streamer's sort of stuff. But the perks and stuff, that should be something that's like fairly consistent across the board, because Twitch is involved in the subs. They get a cut of that stuff. And like when you go from one streamer to another, they should all kind of have the same similar perks, and some could have additional ones to set them apart.
Yeah,
but there should be some generic ones that you're able to set that is very consistent between streamers on this, because otherwise it creates a whole level of confusion. If you have a developer or a streamer that has really good developed software for their tier 2s and 3s, like as perks, and you're a first-time Twitch user, and you go and you tier 2 to somebody, and you get this awesome thing, and then you go tier 2 to somebody else because you're going to get that from their channel too, and you don't get anything, you're going to be like, wait, why didn't I get this? And it's going to be like, oh, because it's not a Twitch thing, it's this individual streamer. And sure, that's the fault of the viewer, but you can't ever say that. It's the, you want to have some consistency when it comes to payments.
Yeah. Yeah. It's
So
definitely
I
some
think we
squandered
focus on the
opportunity at
weirdest
the
things.
other tiers for sure. Twitch is
Yeah.
a mystery, man. Like, is like, as much as like I've kind of shit talked them for the last like 5 minutes, don't get me wrong, I'm grateful as hell for the platform. The service is amazing. You know, like I stream to hundreds of people every day and have like 2-second delay between my conversations with them. Like it's incredible. But I just think a lot of the recent decision making there has just been very, very strange, very weird to me. And it feels like a lot of half thought decisions.
Yeah, there's a reason we still develop for Twitch. You still stream on Twitch. We do our podcast on Twitch. Like,
we love the platform.
We're critical of it, and you should be. Just because you like something or love something doesn't mean you can't be critical of it.
Absolutely.
In fact, you should be more critical because you want to see it succeed.
Yeah.
And the people that will be like, "Oh, the platform's perfect," or "This is great. There's nothing wrong." Those are the people you need to watch out for. And so, you know, I think this is going to take me to that one point. There's other streaming platforms out there, and you know, we complain and stuff, but overall, I think we're confident Twitch is working towards the right goals, and they're kind of like trying to do their best. But Mixer currently is actually having an all-time low in morale, and recently there was a leaked town hall meeting. If you're not familiar with a town hall meeting, it's typically a meeting with the CEO or, you know, kind of the thought leaders of the company, giving a meeting to the employees. Like, it's like an all hands, everybody on deck sort of thing. Come to this meeting, and we're going to give you kind of the information of what's happening to the company and where we're going right now. And so Microsoft / Mixer had a town hall meeting recently, and their CEO was on there talking about, you know, why Mixer's so great, and why everyone working there should be grateful they're working there, and why they don't understand that people don't like it. That's basically the gist of it. There's been a lot of reports of people, of a few people being laid off. You know, one of the big issues that people have right now that are still there is that they've seen Mixer pay millions of dollars to bring streamers over. But then Mixer turns around and goes, we need to lay off this team and this team here because we don't have enough money.
Yeah. Like, one of these streamer contracts that they've essentially acquired could pay the salaries of all of the people that were cut, essentially. Which is like it's Microsoft. You know that they're not making the cuts because they don't have the capital to keep it running.
Yeah.
They're making the cuts because they're like, it's failing, they're cutting corners, they're just like keeping it alive in the state it's at. I don't know. Mixer, it's definitely like not gotten the steam that I think anyone really expected after all the big acquisitions. And they had a lot of big acquisitions, like Ninja, Shroud, Gothalion, just to name 3 of them.
Yeah, and so I think and a lot of people, like I said, they're here at PAX East, and they got a presence here. And they're showing off their partners, which is the right thing to do. But they're saying and doing one thing in the public, where
and then in private they're
doing something. Yeah. And so that's the thing. Like, their fans and their streamers' fans are being kind of kept in the dark in this light of this stuff. And it's interesting because we've tried to work with Mixer a few times now, and like, we're kind of met with like, we don't really have any plans for something like that or this and that.
Yeah,
and it's
almost
really
like
interesting.
There's no drive there.
Yeah, and like, whenever I talk to Twitch and I'm like, hey, I got this idea for a project, they're usually pretty much on board. Unless it's something crazy that I come up with.
Even when it's crazy, sometimes they're like, I'll see if the higher ups are okay with this.
Yeah. But like, so like, at least with Twitch, I know that I can go to them and they get excited about the idea, even if they're unable to completely accomplish it. But Mixer is pretty much like a closed door that I have to like scream at, and eventually they just open the door and be like, go away. Like,
not right now. Fine. We're busy. We got people to fire.
We're busy. We got to fire people, and we got to get all these new streamers. We got to spend millions on some streamers. So yeah, it's I don't know. It's an interesting dynamic. I know there's a saying, you know, the grass is always greener on the other side.
Yeah.
I have a saying of my own. The grass is always greener where you water it. And so, like, you know, if your grass isn't green, give it more water.
Yeah.
And if that doesn't work, then
absolutely,
talk about changing
that's a
your
good
grass
saying.
and whatnot. But overall, it's there's no one perfect platform, obviously, because otherwise we wouldn't be having this discussion. But things aren't always as they seem, and everyone moving to Mixer, like it felt like a big deal back in August, but we're now in February, and it feels kind of like Microsoft already lost.
I haven't gone on that website since the Shroud move.
Yeah, I mean, I check on it every now and then. I'm like, all right, can I do anything new? Nope. All right, good.
Still what it is. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's interesting. It's very, very interesting.
Yeah. It's so hard to fight against that first and entering, first in the space advantage.
Oh yeah. Yeah. First mover advantage.
Yeah. That's what it is. Yeah. Like Twitch just has such a head start on everybody in the streaming space because of that. And if anyone's gonna be able to contest them, it's probably gonna be YouTube. The same way that no one can contest YouTube and its platform because first mover advantage. What are you gonna go do? Like watch shit on Vimeo? Fuck no.
Yeah.
Like
people have tried, and YouTube's had its downfalls and whatnot, and its issues and protests, and it's still number one.
Oh yeah, dude. YouTube gets shit talked by its creators so much. Every YouTube rewind that comes out becomes the latest, most disliked video.
Yep.
People the creators hate that platform, but they're on it, right?
But it's the only thing that because they're stuck on for those.
It's
guys,
where everyone is.
A lot of them are.
Yeah. There's not really much else you can do about it.
You have 100 million subs. It does you could try to move to another platform, but it's probably not going to work.
Probably not worth it.
1/10,
yeah,
maybe.
Yeah.
So it's tough. It's it's crazy, and I think that's kind of why if you look back at video games too, there's a lot of first mover advantages in video games when it comes to certain types of games like skateboarding games.
Yeah,
for instance.
Yeah, absolutely. We've seen tons of other skateboarding games in the last couple of years. I mean, thinking about where it all started, where it really got popular was Tony Hawk, right?
Skate or Die 2.
Skate or Die 2. But yeah, Tony Hawk's Pro Skater series was the launch of all that.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, which is super cool because now to kind of tell that story, there's a group coming forward who have been working on a documentary called Pretending I'm a Superman, the Tony Hawk video game story, which is, I watched the trailer for it. It looks awesome. That industry seems really cool. The people who made the games, the original games, seems really cool. Tony Hawk seems really cool. Everyone in that trailer won me over immediately. You know what I mean?
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Did you know that the N64 version of Tony Hawk Pro Skater, and I think it was the second one, had looping music? It didn't have the full CD.
That makes
soundtrack.
Total sense. Yeah.
Yeah, it does. But apparently it only had the first verse in most of the songs. And
that's
so
really funny.
A lot of people thought that was the whole song because that it was the first time ever hearing it. I found that out today.
Wow.
I was talking to people at PAX. And
that's hilarious.
That got brought up. Yeah, but no, Tony Hawk Pro Skater has changed the video game landscape for skating games. There's been many attempts, and even more recent Tony Hawk games haven't even come close.
Yeah, it's true. Because I mean, it's the industry is different than it was, and some of the recent games strayed really far from that initial vision. Yeah,
but I mean, anybody that just played video games played Tony Hawk Pro Skater on PlayStation for sure. And it didn't matter if you were into skateboarding or not. You played it and you probably liked it.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Everybody played Tony Hawk's Pro Skater. Everybody loved Tony Hawk's Pro Skater. It had, you know what I think it was? It was first and foremost a quality game, just on the ground floor. They had a lot of attention to detail to make the game good. They had they implemented the fact that you got to land your skateboard straight or you'll fall. There's actual shit going on. It had a sense, and I use this very loosely, but a sense of realism where the moves you did in the game were real moves. Yeah. Being said, it's not that fucking easy to get 40 meters of air and do 17 kickflips in a row. but it was
I
still
wish it was that easy.
right. It was still cool as shit to see. And then
Yeah.
the biggest factor that made it as successful as it is, I think, is the licensed music. I think absolutely it was the licensed music that made Tony Hawk as successful as the game as it was.
Yeah, I think if it didn't have the music that it had, it would be a completely different game, and it probably wouldn't have gotten as popular.
No,
It probably
for
would have
sure.
been a solid skateboarding game, but it would not be. It wouldn't have a documentary made after it.
I feel like that's
at this
the
point.
case with almost all of the greatest games of all time. Like, if a game doesn't have a banger of a soundtrack, it's not cracking any top 10 list. It doesn't matter how good the game is. It needs to have good music.
I mean, what's the first thing you hear about Undertale?
It's music. It's the first thing
Yeah.
you think about with Donkey Kong Country.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know what? I would challenge a developer to create a game with no music and be like a success.
It's got to be out there. It's got to be some
That'd be a hard
asshole.
mode.
But you got to make it, and it's got to be a gangbuster. It's got to get, Undertale levels of like adoration.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh man, that'd be interesting. That would be really neat.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, Tony Hawk, the documentary's gonna be awesome. It's gonna bring a lot of people that have never played those games too. They're gonna see it and be like, hey, maybe I should go and give this a try. Because the games still hold up for the most part. I've seen streams of Tony Hawk Pro Skater 2 still, and that's the game. I think that's the GOAT of the three. Like, I know there's more, but
Yeah.
we're not talking about those.
I actually recently replayed Tony Hawk's Underground.
Mm-hmm.
That was a fun one. I really like that one because the same way Mario 64 gave you an open world and, you go did shit. Like, it wasn't pick a level and play. It was go like enter a level and then skate around and find someone who needs a goal and do their task. And like, that's just so fun. There's like, it's just like such a coy way of hiding missions within a level that isn't a level, like a mission select screen. That just makes it feel more fun, makes it feel more immersive.
Yeah, it was definitely a different take on the skateboarding game genre. And I wouldn't say it was a bad game by any stretch, but like when you think back about Tony Hawk games, it's definitely the Pro Skater series. It's definitely like number 2. But either way, it will be a fun documentary to see. Just talk, like, my favorite thing about Tony Hawk is his Twitter is mainly used to talk about people not recognizing him.
Yeah, I love it so much. Like, you look like that Tony Hawk guy. Yeah, I wonder what he's up to.
Well, probably shopping.
Maybe he's buying the same thing you're buying right now.
Yeah, to have that level of fame, but also not that level of fame, like, it's interesting. He's got it. I think he's got it way better than he thinks. I think too many people, and well, you know what? I don't even think he's taking it the wrong way. I think he gets a kick out of it more than anything.
Yeah,
but like, there are celebrities out there that would love to have that happen to them.
Yeah,
but
I bet,
instead
dude.
they get swarmed. So
yeah, he's got such
really
a weird like it feels like he's like a very low key celebrity strictly because almost because of the games, where like he probably made so much bank off of like not only his skating career but like the games, right? Those games made hella money. He definitely got hella paid for having his name on all of them, and he's got to be living a nice, comfortable, like real good life. Like his kids are, they go to whatever school they want to go to, kind of action.
Funny enough about his kids, I don't know how many kids he's got, but I know he has at least a son.
Yeah.
He actually is or was in Chicago because one of my coworkers, he's a skateboarder and has skated with Tony Hawk's son, but he didn't know it was Tony Hawk's son for like months. Yeah.
That's
he never
funny.
put 2 and 2 together. Like, he's like, yeah, just this guy at the park, he's always got the best gear and stuff, and like, he's talking about how he's gonna go pro and stuff, and he's a cool guy. And then I find out he's Tony Hawk's son. I'm like, holy shit, that's hilarious.
Yeah, that is real funny. Dude, I saw a video of one of Tony Hawk's kids doing like a super like they built like a Sonic style loop-de-loop and skated through it.
That's cool.
Yeah, super sick. Oh wait, it might have been Tony Hawk that actually skated through it, not his kid. Never mind.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
Yeah, probably. Yeah.
He fell a lot.
Still cool. Yeah. Oh, I seen that. Yeah, I seen that one then. Yeah. But yeah, and he has been a pro at this stuff for 40 years.
Yeah, he's the fact that he still skates, man. Like his bones got to be fucking brittle by now. That boy better be drinking his milk.
He had his milk. He had his milk for sure.
Oh yeah, man.
So yeah, he's I don't know, Tony Hawk.
Great guy. He's a great guy. He's a stand-up icon in the video gaming world. But
you know what? Maybe he should run for president. I'm just
either him or The Rock, dude. Either him or The Rock.
I'm not. I don't want to get political, but I'm just throwing it out there. Tony Hawk for president.
Man, so with Tony Hawk being so like as dope as he is, as great as he is in the video game community and his life, there's actually a funny piece of news that's came up about someone who's not so great in the video game community, who's not so stellar of a person. I would even describe them as toxic.
Okay.
YouTuber known as Kurt0411 has been banned from every single EA game and online service that they offer. Did you have a chance to watch this YouTube video by any chance?
Wait, you're telling me,
or not YouTube video, clip.
Yeah, you're telling me this guy is banned from every EA game?
Every single one.
How do I get that?
Oh, EA burn. It's in the game.
It's in the game. Yes.
Yeah. Well, apparently it's as easy as this. Just play their games on a stream. Start, have something happen where some salt happen. And in response to this salt, make weirdly gross like threats about the company, pull out their logo and like physically spit on it. Like the dude went to the nines with his rage. He's playing FIFA and you know what? He must have been inspired by Ninja's tweet because he took an opportunity to get angry and he did. He got mad. And so EA's response, I fucking love it. They didn't reach out to him and be like, well, this was disrespectful. We hope you they're just like, you know what? Yeah. You're going to be a fucking stink about it. You're banned, bitch, from everything, from fucking everything.
You know what? And that's the right move because
yeah, dude.
There are consequences for your actions, and I think we're going to segue to something else about this, as well. But I think like more companies need to do something like that because it's what good is that going to do for you?
Right?
Yeah, he might have a nice following for your game, but do you really want your following watching that and him saying these things about your company? Even if some of the stuff is true about the game being buggy and stuff. It crosses a line when you start to threaten the actual developer of these games.
Even the spitting on the logo, like spitting on the logo is like...
Did he like print that out and then
I think he had like a
it?
box or something around. I wasn't exactly sure.
Yeah, I'm trying to think of the steps. Real quick, we got 1 minute left, literally, for the Patreon
Last
minute. So
we do have a current leader.
We have Super Mario World 2 in the lead by 1 vote. It's you know how they say 1 vote matters?
1 vote makes a difference. Yeah, every vote matters.
It absolutely could. But yeah, so yeah, we're talking about the poll after this, but absolutely just insane. And so I think EA did the right thing, 100%. I'm behind them and not like blocking toxic people from your platforms. Perfectly acceptable. Yeah,
like there's like an acceptable level of like, okay, this guy was mad and shit, but like, dude took it too far, and I'm stoked to see EA stand up and be like, yeah, not cool, peace. Like I think they pulled a good move there.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
So, hats off to EA. I know they get a lot of shit. I gave it to them during this portion.
Yeah, of course. I mean, who doesn't love to shit on EA? It's it's EA.
It's in the game. Yeah. You think you can still play Sims?
No.
Yeah, good. So I think that this is actually a good opportunity to talk about something that happened recently in the Super Mario Maker community. I don't want to. I'm not trying to point fingers at the streamers involved or anybody in this, but I think to give everyone the story, some names do have to be said.
Sure.
Recently, there's been some conflict between a viewer that creates levels and a streamer that escalated to all sorts of crazy lengths. So I'm just gonna say it. So the streamer known as the Classy Mess, he had a situation happen in his channel where the Leech won. As many of you might know, he makes really difficult Taz-like levels.
Real hard shit.
Levels that are really hard. Requires you to like 1 pixel jump like 30 times in a row, and then you go in a door and you got to do it again and no checkpoint sort of stuff.
Yeah.
The guy is kind of a machine when it comes to that sort of stuff. And it's not every streamer's cup of tea to play those levels.
No, absolutely not.
The Leech also typically only talks through DMs. He doesn't. He's more of a lurker for various reasons. That's on him. Whatever he wants, however he wants to communicate with the streamer, it's on him. It's fine. But what happened recently is there was a conflict between him and the streamer, and some things made it over to Twitter and whatnot, and it kind of rubbed both people the wrong way.
Mm-hmm.
And what ended up happening was the Leech started going after the Classy Mess's world records. Kind of petty, but also, you know what? It's fair game. It's
Petty.
World records.
It's funny. I like it.
Yeah, like at the end of the day, it's a world record. What's the point of having a world record if it's not challenged?
Of course.
Right? So world records were being taken, and then all of a sudden, people in the Classy Messes chat got hacked. Messages, such as bringing them up. Do not follow the Classy Mess, or he will scam you. Please do not follow the Classy Mess, or he will scam you.
Or he will
repeatedly.
scam you. What?
Yeah, and this was being said by viewers of the Classy Mess randomly.
Like people that he like already knew, or people just jumping in and randomly?
People that he knew. At least one of those members was subbed for a few months.
Okay.
Things like that. So like basically very interesting things going on. And so it was obviously with this conflict going on between the Leech, it made sense to draw a conclusion that the Leech is behind it.
Yeah.
I got notified by a few people once this started happening, and messages and things were being passed back and forth because of my love for the Mario community and also my background in computer security. So I investigated
you're like Papa.
Yeah. So I investigated it along with another streamer that also got involved on their own, and we were able to talk to one of the users that was hacked. And we were able to confirm that the user that was hacked actually was not hacked, but was behind the whole thing, pretending that it was the Leech.
Pretending that they were hacked to make Classy Mess think that the Leech hacked accounts to like tarnish his name.
Yep.
Deep.
So
this rabbit hole goes deep.
Yeah, multiple twists and turns in this story, and again, like I think everything that was said on the stream and between these two should have been kind of kept between those two.
Yeah,
there was a lot of involvement trying to bring more of the community into it than there needed to be, and I think mistakes were made on both sides. We're not taking sides on this podcast, but one thing that I will say is, just like EA, we don't tolerate cheaters or people doing this sort of stuff. So the 3 users that were responsible for this fake hack, because we're still not sure if it was 1 user with 3 accounts or 3 users on their own, because the other users have not told us yet. They're banned from Warp World from submitting levels at this point. We can't control all of Mario Maker, but we can at least control our portion of it. And so, we've banned people in the past for certain things like this, and being toxic and trying to get a streamer to get a bunch of people to ban somebody based on fake stuff like this.
Yeah,
not tolerating. We're
gross.
not tolerating that.
It's fucking gross.
Yeah, it's gross. We don't have room for it, and we're not going to sit by and let that happen to the community, because the community we have, we love, and we want it to continue to grow, and it's an accepting community. But there are lines that you don't cross, and anybody with half a brain would know not to pretend that your account's been hacked, and then to get an innocent, why a little menacing with his world record taking, but still innocent nonetheless. Person in trouble and outed from the community.
Yeah, it's childish. It's really childish.
Yeah, so it's really interesting that that it came to that, but it's crazy. It's really interesting to have been involved in that, and that happened this last week. So, like I said, it's been resolved. No ill will towards the streamer or the leech on this, because I think things were too complicated anyways.
Yeah, it's going to be hard to really get to the bottom of this one without some Phoenix Wright style detective work.
Yeah, and I think like this should have been like kind of stayed between those two, and they could have resolved it, or whatever. Or, you know, at the end of the day, it's a video game, but we're not going to tolerate people that are going to try to accuse people and out them in a community that they've been a part of. So, good times. But
yeah, that's love me some hot Mario Maker drama. It's been a while. It's been a while since we had some Mario drama.
Yeah, well, you don't have a lot of drama in our community, so
no.
we like to keep it that way.
No drama.
And keeping with Mario, Super Mario World 2, Yoshi's Island is going to be the next crowd control game, people's choice.
Beautiful, love it. That one's going to be good. That one's going to be good.
Yeah, Zelda 1 was last month's, and that is pretty much ready to go. So that should be out before the end of the month. So in the next 2 days or so.
Bless. I'm excited to see some Zelda 1 crowd controls coming up soon then.
Yeah, with that we're gonna have Zelda on 3 major systems.
Wow.
So, very cool.
Yeah, that's actually awesome. Yeah.
Yeah. You know who might actually like Super Mario World 2, but probably can't play it?
Oh, who's that?
Trihex.
Wait, why wouldn't he be able to play it?
Well, he'll probably be able to play it by the time it's out, but he's currently banned for 18 hours.
Oh. All right. Quick correction. He was banned for 18 hours. It lasted 18, but he's back. But yes.
He's back, baby.
He did get banned. Trihex was banned again. This time for something very harmless in my eyes, and not a fair ban in my eyes. But anyway, full story, or I guess summarized story. Trihex was streaming the debate. There was a debate going on, a political debate, and not actually the broadcast. He was not streaming the broadcast in any way, shape, or form. No audio, no video. Actually, kind of in a way, shape, or form. He was streaming.
Yeah, I would say in a way or shape or form.
He was streaming the closed captioning of it. And to cite him for the purpose of being able to what's it called? Have the viewers sync up the debate with his stream so they could watch in real time together. So it's not the first time I've seen that happen. I've seen CDN the Third stream himself watching The Witcher, and he just showed like a bar of what time he was in the video, so people would know what to click on to watch along with him, kind of thing.
Sure.
So I've seen that before, and he was fine. But that being said, Trihex did have the closed captioning, which could be the only part here where there might be some like argument room.
Well, yeah. Let me ask you this: what's the important thing in a debate?
Definitely. I mean, yeah, definitely the context of what's being talked about.
Yeah, the words that are being said.
Yeah, obviously.
So I like that's. In my mind, it's clear like that is the substance. That is the stuff that they want you to go watch.
It's true.
See elsewhere.
But is providing a transcript of what's being said a breach of copyright?
When one company has the rights to that debate and to broadcast it, yes.
Interesting, because
so
he was
CNN.
He was from what I understand, he was banned because of a DMCA that was issued not by CNN. It was issued by someone else. And I can totally jive with the frustration that he must have felt, because I've been hit by a DMCA that wasn't fair before, and it sucks. And mine was over in 30 minutes. His took 18 hours. The man was banned for 18 hours over something that Twitch at the end of the day decided was a false and non-legit DMCA claim.
Oh, So they actually, yeah.
That's
So
why it
I
was
think,
reversed within 18 hours because they had a chance to review it and be like, no, you're actually good, dude.
well, he's good because the actual person that owns it did not.
Because it wasn't, yeah. And apparently it was like some like right-leaning like company targeting left-leaning streamers or something like that. And this is, I cannot confirm if that's true. That's just kind of like a thing I think I read. But anyway, I don't want to even go into all that.
Sure.
But just it's just a weird situation again with these DMCAs where they can hit you and there's nothing you can do about it.
Yeah. So like, I don't know. I agree that like you shouldn't be able to stream even the subtitles to something that's like that.
Yeah, he should have had the counter, like what time in the video he was at.
But I think, the fault is on Twitch for just blindly accepting the DMCA that came in and not doing an investigation to see who actually owned it. And that's always going to be the problem. And that's always happening because companies have 48 hours, I believe, to react.
48 hours to comply with the DMCA, yeah.
Yeah. And for many of them, they have it automated just to happen. Because it's better safe than sorry in their eyes.
Yeah.
But the problem is when you are affecting your not your employees, because we're not employees by Twitch, but your contractors and people's living from your mistakes, it's going to hurt your platform. And eventually people are going to try to leave and or find ways around it or even sue you for damages potentially.
We're going to Mixer, guys. We're going to Mixer.
We're going to Mixer. They'll allow this because no one would be there to be able to see the debate, and so they wouldn't be able to claim the DMCA.
Exactly. Nothing would happen.
Yeah. But no, it's absolutely the fault of the platform. And like there's been these small pushes. There was with YouTube near the end of 2019 with the like, hey, we need more rules. We need to be told more about these rules and what's going on with this with this whole kids safe video stuff. Yeah. So like that kind of helped a little bit, but when's the last time you heard anything about that stuff?
No one's talking about it. It was, I mean, according to someone that we both know who's a part of Warp World who, has legal knowledge, the whole thing was just a thing YouTube had to do. Like nothing changed. Like the same rules were in place that were in place before. It was just made a little more clear kind of deal. Yeah.
So it's kind of crazy. But that's how the internet works. And all these companies are relying on that to consistently happen. And I know I've brought it up many times on topics in the past. We're all guilty of ourselves.
Oh yeah.
There's a lot to go on. Like Veteran Gaming might join your Patreon all of a sudden, So like there's a lot going on.
There's a lot going on.
Thanks, Veteran Gaming, for
Veteran Gaming.
For the
thank
pledge.
You so much. Yes.
So there's just a lot going on, and there's so much information to be taking in that it is hard to concentrate on one single thing or a few single things that do really matter. But until we start holding companies accountable for this sort of stuff, nothing's going to change. I'm not the person to start that change. I've done my time to try and make things change. I'm an old man at this point. I'm just gonna shake my fist at the internet clouds and
just shake your fist until change happens. That's
exactly.
What we need. Yeah.
But that's the way it is. But there's one thing. There's one community that's not afraid of change.
No, they're sparking change all over the place. It's,
This is gonna take us to our hot take.
Hot take. The community we are talking about, ladies and gentlemen, is none other than the Super Mario Sunshine speedrun community. Now, we talked about it previously on the podcast, where the Mario Sunshine speedrun community, we're talking about introducing a way to essentially skip the cutscene in the game. You have approximately 7 minutes of cutscene at the beginning of every speedrun that you have to sit through, not necessarily all at once, but in total that, really makes running the game kind of a drag. And a lot of the community feels this way. And so, discussion came up about, should we introduce a method of playing Super Mario Sunshine, like legit to the speedrun leaderboards on speedrun.com that skips these cutscenes. And after months and months of talking about it, the community has finally decided that, yes, they have decided to allow this hacked file, quote unquote hacked file, which is essentially a save file derived from a new file that just has 6 flags edited from false to true, saying that the cutscenes are now skippable.
Yep.
That's what it does. So now you have to mash buttons to skip them, but you can skip them. The rest of the cutscenes in the run, anything else that you run into after those first 6, they're still there, they're still in. So there's a lot to unpack about this, and rightfully so. I think a lot of the speedrunning community is hot, and I think there's a lot of valid heat on both ends. So my question for you, Jaku, is, do you think that having a hacked file as the standard is cool, or is it uncool? Now, I will add that the way that they do the splits now has, like, the time that the cutscenes require is incorporated into the splits. So if you're running without the hacked version, your time will still be able to match up with those running with the hacked version. The only difference is the time is added on for them. For you, you have to sit through those cutscenes.
Right. Okay. Let me preface this as with, I have no desire to run Super Mario Sunshine, nor should I have any real need to throw in my opinion on this. But it's a podcast, and it's our podcast, so I can. But so I'm actually for this, because I have seen Sunshine runs, mainly Panga when he would do them.
Yeah.
And when he would have to reset, it was tedious. It was like, let me go do something else for 5-6 minutes. It was definitely a point where people would leave the stream and
hurts the content.
Stop watching. Yeah. It was just no good. Nobody wanted to see it. And it's my understanding that most runners use a Nintendo Wii to run this game.
Yep. It's faster.
So it's faster. And I believe because it's a Nintendo Wii, homebrew on there is really easy. And so it's not too hard for many people to get a save file on their memory card. So I saw some people like, oh, well, like there's a barrier to cost to get the file on your memory card. And some people might not be able to afford that sort of thing. And I can understand that. But I think because you're already running on faster hardware anyways, that point's kind of meh in my eyes. And all it is a save file. So you could get that save file from somebody else at some point and then just copy it and keep doing that when you need to. So I think it's a good change. I think more communities should actually kind of look into games like this and take a look and be like, what can we do to improve this speedrun experience for everyone involved? Because not only do you now get more time as a speedrunner, you're going to be more likely to reset than to continue or run just because, which some people can see bad, some people can see good, but you could always just decide to continue to run anyways. But at least now you don't have that feeling in the back of your head like, well, if I quit now, I still have to sit through a 7-minute cutscene. So should I just finish the run? And so I'm on the side of the hacked file. I think it's a good thing for the community. I think more communities follow suit where needed. And in the whole point of speedrunning a game is well, maybe it's not the whole point, but the whole point to me is you're speedrunning a game that you enjoy, and the more time you can spend playing it and actually playing it and not just watching a video of it, the better. The better time you're going to have, the better time your viewers are going to have, the better time a third-party person that has no idea what's going on is going to have.
Yeah. Yeah, I can agree. And I can agree with a lot of that. I'm kind of like very heavy leaning towards the same side as you, where I think it's overall not that big of a problem of a change. I like the idea of, the runners being able to get more runs in. Like, because even think about it, attempting runs, you just can't do as many runs a day if you want to do runs, because you're sitting there stuck doing whatever, like watching that cutscene after resetting 15 minutes deep. If you reset 3 times on runs 15 minutes deep, that's 50% of your stream already wasted on cutscenes, not attempts, not practice, not anything, right? So to that degree, it's like, it really, like, quality of life shoots up beyond the moon. Number 2 is like, it doesn't skip anything. Like, it doesn't skip mashing. It doesn't skip anything other than idle time. And essentially that means the game would be literally the exact same, like with or without the cutscene.
Yeah. And I think the fact that the new runs will cut that cutscene off the time essentially, or it gets added on.
Yeah, it gets added on.
It still comes out to the same amount of time for the speed run. So no one's at a speed advantage. The only advantage you get is that you get to do another run faster than the other player.
Yeah.
Which if you have 5 hours in a day to do runs, what is Sunshine, like an hour 20-ish?
It's about an hour 14 at like best pace.
Yeah, so an hour and 20 or so. So basically, you get 3 runs in a day. That extra 6 minutes might let you squeeze in one more.
It's possible, yeah,
maybe.
Absolutely. And like the other side of the fence has a lot of good points as well, where like it is a slippery slope of like having modified game files as the legal speedrun file. Not a lot of games, allow that, or any that I can think of. On top of that, there is obviously the accessibility issue, which it seems they've dealt with well enough by having it possible to have what's it called, like cutscene skippers and non-cutscene skippers still be able to race against each other with the way that they're timing it and everything. But one thing is that like skipping the cutscenes is going to heavily reward really risky early play compared to not skipping the cutscene. Because if you think about Mario 64 and Womp's Fortress, you have cannonless, right? You have a trick that there's three ways that people will do it. There's the first way, which is really slow, where you grab the ledge, you do the whole setup. It works every time. It is so consistent. Then you have the kind of risky way where, once you've done it enough, the speedrunners get a feel for it. They line themselves up with the ledge. They like grab it, come back up, and then just walk off. It saves a lot of time. But then you have the runners who are like, I'm running 16 star. I'm going balls deep. I need to save an extra 2 seconds. I'm just going to walk off this bridge and hope that I touch that star. And because Womps is the first level in the game, you can afford to reset there. Or second level, rather.
Yeah, second. Let me ask you this. Have you ever seen someone get the star from the wall by doing a long jump and getting it from the other side?
No.
I saw it happen the other night on a stream, and I was like, what? I have to send you the clip. It blew my mind. The guy accidentally did it.
Oh,
he had no intention of getting it like that.
That's beautiful.
And I sent it to Cheese and Simple Flips, and like, yeah, that can be done. We've seen it, but I don't know if it's faster or not. But
yeah.
I think it's not very
if you can do it from one side, probably from the other, but it's probably not worth it.
yeah. It was crazy. But no, good points for sure. I think the rewarding the risky plays in the beginning, definitely a bit of an advantage there.
Yeah.
But just like anything, like you could practice that and practice that and practice that, and at the end of the day, eventually you're gonna get consistent on that, even if you have to sit through a 7-minute cutscene. So,
absolutely.
I think we gotta think more about like the enjoyability of things and stuff like that when it comes to speedrunning.
For sure. I think for everybody's overall enjoyment, I'm taking team allow the hacked file. I like the idea. I think it's fine. I mean, I'm not going to complain if you're not using the hacked file, if you want to do your speedruns watching the cutscene. I had a good time watching my SMS speedrunners. Everyone made memes out of the cutscene. They always had a fun time. Yeah. They all knew it by heart. They were like always, acting along with the court case, acting surprised. It was content. It was funny. So I can see, but I could definitely see enjoying just watching attempts, just getting in, just watching gameplay.
Yeah, but like you said, they made their own content during those 7 minutes to keep it enjoyable.
They didn't make their own content. They didn't play the game. Yeah.
Yep, that's the point.
Yeah.
Okay.
Absolutely.
Should we go?
All right.
Let's go on over to side questions.
Side questions. All right. Lead us in, Captain.
All right. We got a few, but we might cut a few just because time. But we'll see. Hi, team. I'm a big fan of games that have puzzle-solving elements in them, not including the overarching puzzle of Grand Poo World. What are your favorite puzzles from a game? Also, what puzzle infuriated you the most in trying to solve it? Thanks and keep up the good work. Your friend, Rated R.
Rated R. Every week. Great job, Rated R.
Man.
This is a good one. I can easily think of my most infuriating puzzle, and it is without a doubt Sonic 3's Balloon Carnival Zone, where the game never teaches you that you can press up and down to get past these fucking like moving circle cylinders. And yeah, and that is the puzzle that has stopped every child who tried to play Sonic 3.
You know the stupid thing? That's not even a puzzle.
It's not even a puzzle.
It really isn't.
It's just an unintroduced gameplay element.
I'm with you. I'm with you on that. I hated that so much.
Yeah.
Because like, did you jump?
Everybody tried to use like the physics of the jump to like make it move. Nobody realized you could press up and down while on it because it didn't ever explain that to you in any way.
If there was an arrow or like an icon of the D-pad and up and down was being pressed, okay, would have got it. But yeah, no clue. Man, can I go with that one? Because
I'm absolutely. It's a shitty enough puzzle that we can both go with it.
Yeah. Yeah, and then puzzles that like for games that you do enjoy. I mean, I think I just like puzzle games in general. Resident Evil games, they're not like super complicated puzzles, but like it's kind of fun. They make you feel smart even if you're not, and even if they're super easy to solve. But it's just a fun little like thing to do and kill some time.
I really like that you said that. I think the best video game puzzles are puzzles that aren't too hard, but that present themselves as if they were harder than they were, and they make you feel like really cool for solving them. I really loved the DLC dungeon in Breath of the Wild. It has like each dungeon utilizes like a different aspect, like each section of the dungeon utilizes a different like aspect of the game, like wind, thunder, rotating shit, like, and it's all very, very clever. And when you solve it, you just feel so smart, and it's so satisfying. And I love that. Every puzzle in that dungeon just like does it for me.
Yeah. That's a good one.
Cool. All right, let's get on to the next one.
All right, dear Xwater, Jaku, and Pooh. Skins have been a major thing in the latest games, but they are all locked to one account. Valve games like CSGO, Dota, and TF2 have tradable skins. Do you think this would be a fun and good thing to have in other games, I would assume? Would you ever trade for skin or just like buy and use them? The idea. Best wishes, Mr. Boot.
I like the way that Valve does it.
Yeah.
I don't know. I feel like
stuff and
go ahead.
Sorry. I was gonna say I think like the tradable stuff is really nice. Being able to trade skins within that game and then taking the money if you wanted to, and go buying other stuff is a good way to do it. And for people that don't like the skins, they can sell them and make a few dollars here and there and buy some new things. That said,
on the topic of that, real quick, someone during Steve's stream the other day sent him a sword for Sven, character in Dota, without knowing what it was. Sword sells for like a G, dude.
Oh, wow.
For like a clean 1,000.
Did he sell it?
Not yet. As soon as he found out, he was like, bro, if you want this sword back, it's all yours. Like, you didn't know, it's cool. And the guy was like, nah, man, I already sent it over. It's all yours.
Wow. That's amazing.
Yeah, hasn't sold yet because Valve has like a lot of interesting rules with their marketplace where, you know, you have to have a like your account has to have this much credibility and you can't trade items like within 60 days of getting that. I'm making these rules up, but like they have a very strict and rigorous trading process in order to be able to like get this kind of stuff. So I do really like the idea of tradability because like, you know, trading collectible cards has always been so fun, and not being able to trade your skins is like, you know, if I got them, let me do what I want with them.
Yep. So this actually, like, I think trading's great, and I think we should be able to, and potentially even trading between games, especially with the same engine and like similar character models, would be neat. I understand the work that would go behind that. Could be difficult. But here's a thought. Fortnite's obviously a game very well known for its skins.
Yep.
And you can only wear one skin at a time. Like, yeah, you can mix and match things nowadays, but if you have the Batman outfit and somebody's got, Deadpool apparently is in Fortnite now, so I got to check that out. How do you get Deadpool? Do you know?
I think you got to buy them, yeah.
Okay, I'll buy them. Cool. I don't want to go and play the game. I just want to buy them.
I just want the skins.
So here's the thing, though. So what if I'm in a squad stream with my friend? Why can't I give them access to my skins when we're in a squad together?
That would be really cool.
That'd be cool. I think like having a wardrobe of your party to be able to choose from would be amazing. And again, you can only use one skin at a time anyways, so it's not like you're hurting anybody.
Mm-hmm.
And like it might encourage you to squad up with your friend that has all the skins, or vice versa.
Yeah,
like, hey,
and you might just be like after that, like, man,
use the skin. Okay,
that was cool. I want skins.
I don't see any downside.
Yeah,
I don't see any downside. And like as soon as they leave the party, skin goes away. Super easy, barely an inconvenience.
Totally.
All right. Should we save these other ones for the next week, you think?
You know what? Yeah, I think we've run a long show this week. We can save the rest of our content. To everybody who didn't get their questions read, we do appreciate you and appreciate you mailing in.
I like the questions too. So we're getting these out.
Absolutely. We'll save more time for them in the next week's show. So that brings us to the end.
It's the end, my friend.
Oh, no. Don't cry. Don't cry.
For those that are listening, for those that are listening live and next week, and are not part of the Patreon, there was a little bit of news brought into the bite size segment that I think we should mention.
Yeah, go for it.
Definitely check out our Twitter on Friday, the March of 3rd. No, I don't know what date it is. I'm looking it up right now.
Friday is the March 6th.
6th. So the 6th of March. Definitely stay tuned on the Warp World Twitter and Jaku Twitter. We're going to be part of something pretty cool. Details are still being formed, so I can't give out too much.
No spoilers.
But it's definitely something, it's definitely something you're not going to want to miss. And so tell a friend. But no, like once you see it, your minds are hopefully going to be blown. And it's really exciting. And as soon as we can share more information, we will. But definitely Friday, U.S. time, is when tweets and stuff on that will go out, and it will be fun. All I say is, remember, I'm going to be in Japan.
Yeah, it's going to be big news if Jaku's prepping you from Japan.
Yeah,
it's exciting. You guys are going to be stoked about it.
Yeah, and we should be able to. Well, yeah, I don't know. I'll figure it out when next week, because I might not be on next week's episode, depending on meetings and time. But regardless, it's going to be hype. You guys are going to like it. Saturn knows. He's in chat. But thank you, everyone, for joining us on this episode of the Warp World Podcast. Special thanks to our Patreon members. The poll, again, has ended. Super Mario World 2, Yoshi's Island is the next player's choice.
Fantastic choice.
Or Patreon choice. We got to come up with a cool title for them.
Yeah. Patreon
great
pick.
Choice. There you go. Perfect. Patreon pick.
PP for
Sonic
the CC.
3. As with every other poll, the games that were on this poll are going to go away for a little bit. They might come back. They might not. You might have missed your chance to get Sonic 3. Who knows?
Oh, no. Everyone who voted for it's going to be devastated.
Oh, yeah. We'll see.
All right.
But yeah, no, thank you, everyone. And make sure, you like, comment, subscribe, all that fun stuff.
Like, comment, subscribe. Absolutely. All right, everybody. Have a fantastic week. Crush this Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. And we look forward to having you listen to our next episode. Thanks so much, everyone.
Yeah. Bye.
Bye-bye.